Here with my good friend Gale Gajardo. Thank you for being with us today, Gail.
It's my pleasure, Ryan.
Very nice. And today is another episode of MoreMito Miracles. And today we are speaking to you about your 3 months you've been on MoreMito now. It's
Yes.
been okay. And so 3 months. Let me go ahead and go like that. And so for 3 months now, can you share with us, Gil, because you have been in the industry for a long time. You love good products out there. Your coffee's good, all this good stuff. So what was life like before MoreMito? Like,
I lead a very, very busy life. So I have pretty much a big business where I have an insurance business where I have over 2,600 agents that I manage, train, support. And I also have my mom I take care of. She's 90 years young. She's actually my inspiration. And I also have a daughter who just turned 30 and she's getting married. So we're very busy with planning her wedding. So my life is full and I want to have the energy and the health because I do believe that health is number one. You can set out to make a lot of money, try to make a great life for yourself and your family. But if you don't have your health, like what good is that?
Exactly. Yeah. Health is always the first wealth right there. And so we've been in the networking industry space. We've had a chance to work with each other before in other projects. You're involved in cryptocurrency as well. You're very passionate about, new cutting edge technologies, within the blockchain space and also obviously in the health and wellness. And so you have shared with us what happened when you started taking the MoreMito, like over the time frame, like in the first day to the first week, like what you noticed going in, to here we are 3 months after here.
Well, first of all, I did some research when you showed it to me, and there's a lot of research out there. And the bad thing is people don't know about mitochondria and what it does for you. And so as I started researching it, I said, wow, and the content of this product was really good. So I took it right away and I noticed an amazing amount of energy that I have. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm 62 years young. And, like I said, my mom is my inspiration. And, she still has a lot of life, in her. And so I said, well, I'm just a baby then, right? Mm-hmm. So having a product like this is really great because, we need help with all the stuff that we have out there that exposes us to toxins. Yeah. And, our food isn't as good as it used to be. It's not as nutritious as it used to be. The grounds that it's grown in, they've depleted all the nutrition. Correct. So we need all the help that we can get. And this product is easy to take. I do not go one day without it. I take it at least twice a day. And in fact, I want to have it with me all the time. I put it in a little bottle, a dropper bottle. So I could take it with me when I travel on a plane. You can't take the big bottle that it comes in. So I put it in a little bottle. It's always with me. I have a little vial in my purse. I've got one in my, pack when I travel. And then, of course, I have the big bottle at home. So it's easy to take. It's inexpensive. When you think about what is your health worth?
Yeah, it's no brainer.
Inexpensive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, to have the energy when you're going like from 6 a.m. in the morning till like past midnight, it's a godsend.
Yes, most definitely.
So, thank you for telling me about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So what are some of the things that you've noticed about it different than like you've taken other products before? Like some of the things besides just more energy, for example. What stands out to you? Because you give me some examples before.
I've noticed
do you have a marathon
difference
or something like this or something you're part of or something like this, some kind of exercise?
I'm actually, so I do belong to a gym, but no, the next thing I'm going to be doing, and I usually run like 5Ks. And I did that for Thanksgiving. And let me tell you, I signed up for it and I kind of did it the last minute. I always run a 5 or a 10K on Thanksgiving Day. Wow. Because...
How many miles is that?
Okay, so a 5K is 3.1 miles and a 10K is double that, 6.4.
Yeah.
And, but you know what? It's you shouldn't be a weekend warrior, as they say. But if you do a run on Thanksgiving Day, then you can have a little bit of some other stuff you don't normally eat, like that pie.
Pie.
And, let's all face it. You know what? Food is a part of our social, life, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
So, I always say eat really well. And for those times when, you're not going to be 100% good, do things like exercise and supplement with a product like MoreMito. And so on Thanksgiving Day, I set out to run a race, and I got there early, and then the race was going to start, and the gun went off, and I was off and running. And before I knew it, I was like done. And I'm like, wow, we're done already?
That was a 3 or 6K.
Well, what happened was it was actually the 1 mile fun run.
Okay.
I said, oh, that's just a warmer. And I felt really good. Now, really, the old me would have said, okay, I did a run, even though it was only 1 mile. And like, who's looking, right?
Yeah.
So no, I said, okay, I'm ready for the next one, which was the 5K. So I did that. And I finished, and I felt really good. And, I've been on this product now for 3 months. I've noticed a difference in my skin too.
Oh, let's talk about the skincare.
Yeah.
So talk about the skincare.
Yeah. So I didn't know that would be like a byproduct, right? And so I feel like my skin has plumped up, and, I'm not having that dry skin.
Yeah, I love the skincare.
Yeah. And then I started putting it, of course, we've got the Rejuvenate, and mix that with the Restore, and I put that on my whole body.
Why not,
you get kind of hooked. Yeah. And for us women, we were worried about like crepey skin. I don't have that crepey skin anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you said that you work in insurance, and you have how many agents working for you?
2,600.
2,600 agents. That's a lot of responsibility,
right there.
And so you are a female boss for sure, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. And what about the sleep and stuff? Have you noticed changes in sleep at all with it?
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? Just because I have so much responsibility, and my mom lives about 100 miles from me, and so at least on the weekends when I go there, and sometimes I'll go there in the middle of the week. It's a lot of commuting, and I have to drive through LA. Could be 2 or 3 hour, or even a 4 hour commute, and so it doesn't leave much for sleep. But one thing I can say, and I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't think about this, but when I sleep, even if it's like 4 or 5 hours, I sleep deep. Yeah. And when I wake up, I feel like I had like 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, I just love that. Yeah. Yes. And have it next to the nightstand, have a little bit before you
Absolutely.
Get out. Because your joints are so much better when you take this. It's just amazing.
Yes. Yes. You know what? That's another thing that you, I'm glad you brought up. By the way, you guys,
bring up a lot more.
This is not scripted. He didn't give me a list of questions or anything, but I used to be a runner, and I used to have knee problems. But yeah, I don't have any knee problems. In fact, my next challenge I'm going to do is on February 25th, and it's a fundraiser for the firefighters in Los Angeles, and we're going to run the stairs. It's called Step Up. And we're going to run up and down the stairs of the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And I'm there. Like I said. Do you just
go up, or do you go up and down?
Up and down. And so, you know what? Everyone thinks the up is the challenge. No, going down.
That's what I'm asking. It's like that's hard on the impact right there.
That's a big challenge. So, yeah.
So you work with like frequency medicine also. And you have like doing all this stuff. So it all works really nice and synergistically together.
As I get older, I used to think 50 was old. But
let's not go there because I'm almost there.
Well, you know what? The great thing about getting older is you do get to learn a lot more.
Yeah, wisdom for sure, right?
Yeah. So my background, I'm actually an electrical and computer engineer by degree, and I worked in that field for 20 years. But, I did that, with a company working on a product, and just like, honestly, just looking at like the electrical function and the mechanical function of it. Wow. But then I started to explore and expand on this, and I thought, and this is what made me think of this. I used to work for Xerox, and we would take our electronic printers, our electronic laser printers. When we were done with the design, we would take it out into the desert, and we would bombard it with electromagnetic emissions. And we would see like what would be the failing point, like, a certain level of emissions, the printer would stop working, right? And so we're there, we're bombarding the printer. Well, guess who else is being bombarded with all of these emissions?
Oh my goodness.
Us. Yeah. So I started to think about and explore that. And I thought, you know what? We are electrical beings.
Right.
We're electrical beings. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And, when you look at anything, everything's moving. A stone, looks like it's just a solid, piece of material. No, if you look at it like through a high-powered microscope, It's atoms and molecules. And what goes around? Electrons.
Comes
Yeah, what comes around goes around too. But that's another lesson.
Yeah.
That's another session. But everything is moving, and so are we. And so, I'm glad you brought that up too, because with what we're taking, it's a high frequency vibration, and like attracts like. And so when you're at a high vibration, you're going to get more of that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So how has it changed your way of thinking? Because I call this stuff a psychologist and a doctor in a little bottle here. So have you you're already high vibe, which is awesome. I love that about you and us. We're high vibing.
Yes.
And anyways, it does have an impact. I feel like my consciousness is raising. Like David Asprey says, our consciousness raises when this goes up. You want to elaborate on that a little bit? Kind of like your positivity. You're a very positive person.
I'm. You know what? I'm actually. Here's a word for me. I'm actually more forgiving. I'm forgiving of. Sometimes people will make a comment because they're not vibrating on a high vibration. And, rather than react.
Oh, this makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than react, I think to myself, I can change the situation.
Yeah,
stay on a high.
Transmute it.
Yes. So stay at a high vibration and give that off to the person. And, some people aren't willing to accept it, but if they are.
I had that happen. Yeah, more power to them. I had to deal with this situation yesterday. One of my old best friends, and we had a fallout, and he called me from another number because I had him blocked. And he's talking to me and how I handled the situation, and just, I asked a question and just, it made him realize, because I wasn't reacting, emotionally. It's like some people kind of try to drag you into drama and stuff like this, and using words like need or I need, and I'm like, no, there is no need here whatsoever. So it's very. I feel like the product. Here's a good question, because I haven't seen you for how long now? How many years?
4 years.
Okay, so share with them, even though this interview is about you, this is very special because you've been a longtime dear friend of mine. What changes have you seen in me since you saw me that long ago? Go for it.
Wow. You know what? I am amazed. And this is truly how I feel. And it's in my heart. But when I saw him, I actually thought he looked younger. Sometimes people will say,
wait, so you haven't seen me for 3 years.
4 years.
4 years. Yeah. But you're saying I looked younger than I did when you saw me 4 years ago.
Yes.
Go ahead and cut you off.
Yes. So I want to elaborate on that, because, a lot of times, you think, okay, I haven't seen this person in 4 years. And so you're thinking, when I see him, you'll see the natural progression of aging,
or
right?
regression.
And or at minimum, you think they look the same. People will say, people will say, oh, you look the same, even though I haven't seen you in 4 years. Yeah. I looked at him, and not only did he look young, he acts young and energetic. That's another thing I didn't tell you.
Do you notice the difference in my personality since then?
I do. I do. Your positivity is like 1,000%.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I know you've been through some stuff too. We've all, just in itself, not from anything. We have our own personal life where, stuff happens, but the world has hit us with all kinds of stuff that we're having to deal with. And
including gaslighting.
Yes.
Inside joke, everyone.
Yes.
That word, absolutely. I rebuke that word.
Yes.
Not in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
That's right in there. So, well, that makes me feel good. I think we're on the right track for just, and helping other people. So what are some of the other testimonials that you've heard people say about MoreMito experience?
People have said to me that
they noticed the difference in you?
Oh, yeah. They said I'm an inspiration. And I love that they said that, because I want to be an inspiration to others. A lot of, especially for women, when we go through the changes, we hit our 60s, a lot of women just sort of give up, and they are like, I'm just going to accept that I'm getting older, and they will take the prescriptions that their doctors will give them. And No, I'm not about to go there.
I mean, all prescriptions anyways, it's proven that they lower mitochondria. You could take any prescription out there, type in that prescription and put mitochondria next to it, and it will say what it does. It's going to lower the mitochondria. And we now are aware and know that the mitochondria is not just the powerhouse, it is the powerhouse of the cell. That's the slogan, right? Like that they have like ingrained in our brain when we were back in grade school, middle school, high school. But the effect that the mitochondria plays when it comes to stress, and every day there's stress going on, whether you're in that rush hour traffic in LA, for example, a relationship thing, situations with children, for example, or business partners, or, even working out and stuff, that lowers your mitochondria. It lowers your mitochondria. You're wearing yourself out. So, with this product being the only product in the plant that actually raises your mitochondria up, that we're aware of, that it comes to close. I mean, L'Oreal, for example, just put $66 million on. Did you see this last week?
I did. Yeah. Explain to them.
This is very, so L'Oreal put in $66 million into, I think it's called MitoPure or something like this or something. It was a pill. It's a pill form, so it's not a liquid. Obviously a liquid is way more effective. Their product only has about 4 to 5 ingredients in it. It's $125 a month. And it's not nanotechnology like ours and with this delivery system. So we have a superior product for less of a cost that a multi-mega billion-dollar company is investing in this technology. Right. And as you're aware, University of Washington has 5 mitochondria labs focused on mitochondria that I've been working with. So
So say again, because I think it's important to know. You said the L'Oreal has how many ingredients?
L'Oreal has about 5 or 6 ingredients in their product of MitoPure, I believe is what it's called.
As compared to
ours has 44 nanotized ingredients and is a liquid form, obviously, instead of like the pill form and stuff like this. So
and and that's why I like how we tell people about this, because obviously L'Oreal has to spend
a lot of money in advertising. Right?
They spend a lot of money in advertising, so their product has to cost more.
Right.
And then it can't be as good. I mean,
because network marketing makes the best products out there.
Well, and when you compare like what's inside, that's what counts. Like, what are you really paying for when there's only, like a tenth of the good stuff in there?
Right. Yeah. It's a big, big difference with that. And so, I'm just glad to have you with us, and that's it's so awesome reconnecting after all these years, and we're seeing these. I mean, you look younger than I've also since I last saw you. So we're like, people say, we say we're reverse aging. We don't say anti-aging when we focus on reverse aging, more positive word right there, and actually more productive word right there. Right. So here we are going back, and this can, it's just changing lives. We're changing so many lives with this product.
Yes, it's awesome. And when everyone's in that high vibration, life is
it's good. A lot more fun. Yeah. Right. When people are all high vibes and stuff like that. Yeah. Anything else you want to add at all, or?
I just want to tell everybody, you know what? So you've heard us talk, do your research, start to look up what is mitochondria and why it's important. And then get hooked up here.
Give it him. Give it her. So awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you too.
All righty, guys. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Let me go.